Welcome, welcome, welcome to the first annual Elevator Pitch Championships for Saskatoon, proudly presented by Vendasta. We're going to get going here in the next 30 seconds or so. This is round one here today. Our final round is at Ideas on Tap on Friday, and that starts sharply at 4 p.m. So 30 seconds, and we'll get this underway. All right, again, welcome everybody. So round one. So genesis of this event, genesis of the elevator pitch, what is it? It goes back to the days when you had, that elevator ride up with a senior executive and you had to sell something or you had to get to the next point, the permission to proceed with that executive in a very short time frame. And the definition of an elevator pitch is a succinct and persuasive sales pitch. And so the genesis of this event is these types of events are held across North America. In fact, one of our partners, Big Fish Local in Dublin, Ohio, the owner of that agency there is the two-time elevator pitch champ of Dublin, Ohio. So thank you to Seth for the great idea. So I'm Doug Campbell. I'm our VP of Revenue here at Vendasta. And just want to go over quickly some of the rules here for round one. So the contestants were prepped with this. There's no props, no visual aids. This is just you. It's not a team sport, so it is just one person giving their pitch. Each pitch should be no more than 60 seconds in length. And pitches are not subject to any confidentiality obligation, and all presentations will have an audience. Basically, no trade secrets. Don't give away anything you shouldn't. And of course, this is going to be live in front of an audience today, and again on Friday, 4 p.m. at Ideas on Tap. So round one today, you're going to be scored by our judges. So the top 5 are going to move on, and they will compete on Friday, live in front of our Ideas on Tap audience. The judges' results are going to be sealed kind of Jeff Probst style. We'll helicopter them in to the final, and we'll find out who those 5 finalists are going to be live on Friday. So Survivor, if you've seen Survivor, it's kind of a big deal. We don't have a helicopter and we don't need to go that far. Final round is going to be scored by the audience, so a little bit different. This round today, judges. Friday, it's going to be the audience, but the judges are going to give some feedback and some coaching along with those, with the pitches. And then, of course, we're going to crown that champion who's going to win a $1,000 prize and bragging rights, so something to put on your LinkedIn account for the year. And or this big-ass trophy that we have coming. So how are we going to score this today? So first is credibility. So the pitch being convincing or believable. Second is clarity and communication. So the quality of the pitch being coherent or intelligible. Third is the enthusiasm. So the pitcher's lively demonstrated interest and enjoyment and approval or authority on the topic that they're presenting. And fourth is this wow factor. So it's an open category for our judges to rate an it factor or something that wasn't rated in the previous 3 categories. Things to just keep in mind for our contestants, it is 60 seconds. I'm going to give you a buffer of 15 seconds thereafter to finish up once you hit your 60-second marker. And if you go beyond that, you're going to get the big gong over here, and you might lose some score points. Our judges. So we got Mr. George Leith. He is our CRO at Vendasta. He's also the host of the highly acclaimed Conquer Local podcast. We also have Simon Papadopoulos, who's not here with us today. Operates one of the most successful agencies in the U.S. that's located in California, and he's traveling from California to here for Friday's event. And of course, we have Jane Button, who's a regional VP of small business and specialized solutions for Connexus Credit Union. But that's kind of a hacky way to present them, so I'm going to have them, because it's an elevator pitch competition, come up and tell you about themselves in an elevator pitch.
Okay, I had no idea about the elevator pitch, so I was not prepared for this. So as you said, I'm Jane Button, RVP Small Business and Specialized Solutions, and I've been in the financial industry for about 24 years, if you can believe it or not. George and I go way back, even before then. Had my start way back in Rosetown. Enjoy learning about small business, helping small businesses, advising them, helping them grow. And along the way, growing a team at the same time. So it's kind of a combo effort as we do that at Connexus. I've been involved in a few of these pitches before. So with our Cultivator, which is our business incubator down in Regina, had the opportunity to attend and be part of their 24-hour pitch session that they had, and another one last week that they had as well. So excited to be here. Thank you very much for the opportunity to judge, and looking forward to hearing all the great ideas. So thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Jane. My name is George Leith. I'm a passionate salesperson for the last 37 years. I started in the sales business with Jane in the beautiful town of Rosetown, Saskatchewan. She actually used to be a guest on my morning show. My goal is to build the largest B2B sales force on the planet. We're about 36,000 salespeople into that quest. And I love working with sales organizations and helping them refine their go-to-market and work with their reps to make them the best in the world. And I'm looking forward to working with you folks today on your pitches, and excited to see the work that's about to come out of this. So I'll give it back to Mr. Campbell.
All right. So we're going to get into the meet the pitchers. So we've groomed our field down to 10 contestants. And so congratulations, you've made it this far. Yes, all right. But we'll get right into it. First up is that we have Susan Kessler. So Susan Kessler is the owner of Susan Kessler's Image Studio, and she's going to be talking about Susan Kessler's Image Studio. So Susan.
That work? Okay, I'll put it in my pocket. Okay. I didn't want to be first. So are you going to give me are you going to give us a countdown, like 3, 2, 1?
I'll give you a
Because I need that.
Whenever you're ready, I'll give you a countdown.
And then you go. Okay, no, stop. Okay. Everybody else needs to know this too. It's not just me. Yeah, right. That good. I got it. Okay, yes, thank you. Together.
3, 2, 1, go.
I'm Susan Kessler, and I launched my image consulting business in 1990. Oh, but I missed your birthday. Guess what? I brought you a gift. And do you want it? It's pretty. If it was in a plain box, I don't think you'd vote for it. Well, you know what? People are like boxes. They have a body. That's the box. And inside is their ability and their achievements. And on the outside is how they present to the world. And it starts from your head, your eyeglasses, your wardrobe, your hairstyle, your mannerisms, how you shake a hand. Do you know that within the first 60 seconds of meeting me, you've made 10 judgments about me, my income, my occupation, my education, my earnings, and whether I'm trustworthy or not. It's all by what you see. It's all nonverbal. My job, and I love what I do, is to give you an understanding and control over what messages you are broadcasting. And I give you time and money to and other accessories to decorate your box. And when you're going for that job interview or closing the contract, remember the lesson of the birthday box.
Thank you, Susan. Outstanding. I don't know, go to our judges here for some feedback. Who wants to go first?
I wonder what persona I'm going to be. Am I the Simon? Well, there is a Simon going to be here on Friday, so I'd rather be Julian Huff. No, I can't do that. I thought that the presentation was okay. I wonder if you practiced a lot, because I noticed that you were a little nervous, which a little bit of nerves is okay. It's actually probably in a group like this, it's expected. I'd be a little shocked if you didn't have some sort of nervous, but I find that practicing over and over and over again is the way to get rid of a lot of that, to really know the content inside and out. And then on the timing, I think we were pretty clear on the timing. So I love the fact that we've got the gong and we hammer that thing when you're over, because part of an elevator pitch is you've got 3 floors before the prospect is now getting off the elevator, and you've got to deliver that very concise message. So I think a little bit more work on making that concise and a little more clear. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's some sort of a positioning that you offer, but I found a little muddy as to what the message was. So, thank you for standing up there, because I know that's hard. Just a little bit of advice, just practice a little bit more and edit, and re-edit to get down to a very concise message.
Thank you. Oh, hello? Really? Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you very much for standing up there and doing what you did. That takes a lot of nerve and courage, for sure. I would say on the did well side, I thought there were glimpses of that enthusiasm, and you were excited about the box idea and introducing all of that, and it caught me a little bit. I'd love to see that carried through even more so. I would say also it did well. You look very presentable and definitely credible when we go to look at you as what you're presenting, how you're presenting yourself. I would say I would agree with George on it lost me a little bit. I was into the box thing, and then it jumped to something else, and I didn't quite, it wasn't as easy to tie what it was you were trying to deliver concisely. So I would agree it was a little bit muddy there. So that's my early feedback. Thanks.
All right, thank you. And another round of applause for Susan. That was awesome. All right, next up, we've got Trey Bonneau. He's a financial advisor at TCU Wealth Management. His pitch is going to be on himself. We did allow contestants to send us a video. We know it's tough to get away from your work. Everybody's got a day job and might not have been able to make the first round. So video entries were allowed. This is a video entry, and John, we'll cue that up.
The typical people that I work with, they were in their 30s and 40s, high income, 6 figures, $200,000 plus as a household. And these people, they want to do more with their finances. They want to be a little bit more intentional with what they're doing with their money to give themselves the best chance to meet any financial goals that they have in the future. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make with their money is not whether to invest in RSP or TFSA or some other acronym. It's actually cash flow management. So what I do is I provide the environment for my clients to learn how to manage their money responsibly now and in the future. And then once we have cash flow management down, then we switch to more.
I think Jane probably wants to hire him. I thought that there was, a video. He probably could have recorded that 15 times, so I can't wait until he's here live in front of the crowd so he can do what Sue did. But I thought that there was some credibility there. It was pretty clear as to what he's trying to do. He identified a pain point that he has solved with his solution, which is great. The enthusiasm was lacking a little bit, but he's got that great accent, so he didn't really need enthusiasm. There was some wow factor, so I liked it.
I'm going to go first next time so George doesn't steal all my answers. I was also going to say that he had charisma, I think, in the way he spoke and the way he directed his speech. He was clear on what he was offering and why. I think that was there. As far as the enthusiasm, though, especially if it's by video, I think he had a few chances to really up the ante on that, and it was a little duller than I would have expected from that. So.
Okay, sounds like judges are considering the video aspect of it here. So, all right, let's move on to our next contestant. So, Alex Fallon, he's CEO of Streeta, and he's going to talk about My10, which is a social network.
Has anyone checked Instagram today? A couple people? Okay, no, when you're at work, like it. Okay. All right, I'm going to start now, I guess. Oh, thank you. So is it just me, or do you see what I see? Too many people, too much time spent on this thing called Instagram. I'll try and explain and continue to rhyme. It's not just an app, it's a trap. An addiction to distraction, scrolling and trolling, and it's not kind to our minds. So that's why I created the next big thing. It's called My10, and I created it at the Sheraton. It's Instagram that you only check every now and then because it only tracks 10, the 10 most meaningful moments and memories of your life. Your life story in all of its glory, in 10 posts or less. Isn't that the best? So I could tell you more, but I've only got 60 seconds. So today I'll just say, remember My10 and where you heard it first pitched to a rap. It was at Ideas on Tap.
Nice. Judges.
All right, I like the rhyming idea. That was cute, and it made you listen. I believe you stated the why quite well, and I like that, and the reasoning behind it. I would say the tie to what the benefit is for me and what I will get from that app, I didn't quite see so strongly. It wasn't as compelling as maybe it could have been. And again, the rap was neat, the enthusiasm, there was opportunity there, I think, to boost that even more, especially in a rap version. Maybe some dancing and something like that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the final because I hope there's no script. I hope that you take the podium and just throw it away and just take that from the top of your head. I do like the rhyming idea. I don't know if you're next to a venture capital person to get them to invest in your app that you're thinking of building that maybe a rhyme is the way to stand out from the crowd. So I'm going to give you points for standing out from the crowd. The thing I have a problem with is I think that if it's only 10 views of a life, and I've had a pretty exciting life, so I'm thinking of the 10 things that I would put in there. But after I looked at it over and over again, it would get kind of boring. So I think a little bit more around how this thing has some life might come out. That was my first time, like, okay, 10, yeah, that's cool. But, wow, God, that would get boring after a while. So a little bit more work on that. And the rhyming thing is cool, but I don't necessarily know if it's a wow thing. So when I was watching you pitch it, I don't know if you even believed it. So I think you need to come across to be a little bit more believable. Like, it's 10. You think it's the greatest thing of all time. A little bit more rising inflection and excitement in that so that I'm like, yeah, this guy is in, and I can see his enthusiasm. In fact, go talk to Brendan King about anything, and he will teach you about how to have a very high level of enthusiasm on anything. Doesn't matter. Ask him about the bathrooms or something. Like, he'll give you a level. I think that was the piece that was really missing from it. But I appreciate the fact that you're going to try and do that rhyme. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Alex. All right, next. So next is Rick Ma. He's president of Food Truck Wars Festival Corporation, and his pitch is an idea, which is a software app development. And I believe Rick isn't here. Rick is at video entry. Or so you are here. I'm sorry. Jeez.
I should have sent in a video. Hello. Is this working? Anyways, before I start, I want to thank I forget the organizer's name. Krista, was it? Katrina? Sorry about that. My memory's failing. And Vandesta for putting on the YXE Elevator Pitch 2020 competition. Thanks for our judges being here. Excuse me, but is anybody feeling warm here? I'm going to take my jacket off. I didn't know how to dress. I covered both bases. Hello, everybody. I'm Rick Ma. I'm one of the organizers of Food Truck Wars Street Festival. We are a family, pet, and environmentally friendly festival. I'm looking for a sponsor to cover the costs of a software application. We are Saskatoon's fastest growing festival, and we love to have somebody join us. We started 5 years ago, 11 food trucks, 8,000 visitors. This year, we are going to have 40 food vendors, 100,000 people. We want to launch a software app that can be downloaded by the festival goers so they can vote for their favorite food vendor off their mobile device. If you are successful working with us, we're going to include you on our website. You'll retain the naming rights to the app, and we'll give you comprehensive recognition from the Food Truck Wars Festival. Thank you for your time. I'd like to meet with you to discuss this, and thank you for your consideration.
Oh, Rick, you had me at the beginning when you started to talk about some data to back up why I should believe you. You brought the credibility piece out right out of the beginning. You said, here's what we did last year, here's what we're going to do this year, and that, you know, you're going to get one of my highest credibility scores for that because you were, you know, I'm going to research this now to make sure you're not lying to me, but you got me on that from the credibility piece. I thought that your communication was very clear. Your enthusiasm, I think you know what you're talking about, but I'd like to see a little more around, this is going to change your life if you're a part of this thing that I'm talking to you about, you know? You got me on the credibility, so now I'm hooked. I'm flopping around in the boat, waiting for you to fillet me and serve me up for dinner, right? So now you got to finish it with maybe some things that make it a little sexier at the end. So, great presentation. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, thank you for your boldness as well. And I too would agree that I believe you did a great job of being very clear and specific about the introduction, the past, what you're planning to do, and then where we would come in, you know, where the software piece would come in and why you need that. I would say there was opportunity to even provide a more compelling argument as to what this would do for them and what it would mean to that company to be a part of it and invest in it. I think to just carry that forward a little bit more with some of the benefits. I would agree with the enthusiasm. You started off really good by tearing up the notes and taking the jacket off, although that was technically not part of the 60 seconds, so I didn't really count it. So you had a good start there, and I'd love to see you find a way to continue that with that enthusiasm even more.
Excellent. Everybody give it up for Rick. Next contestant. This is an audio entry. So Tanis Miller, social media and brand specialist for Downtown Saskatoon Bid. And her pitch is going to be on no filter, #Real Talks for a killer personal online brand. John will tee that up.
Have you ever wondered what your employer really thinks of your Instagram feed? Hi, my name is Tanis. I'm the social. We're going to get really practical with pro tips, but we're also going to dive into emojis and subtext. What does he really mean by that heart eyes emoji reaction? And I know branding workshops are nothing new, but they're all too serious. I mean, we're not saving babies here. We're crafting first impressions. So think taboo topics that people are really thirsty to know about, like the secrets to writing a pro Bumble profile bio, stuff like that. If we could all understand the power of our online presence a little bit more, life would be so much easier. Cheers.
All right, judges.
All right. Again, by video, it's tough to judge. I think the comparison is a little hard to make because people live doing it is a little different than video and scripted. So what I did appreciate about it was the humor that was in there that made you think and tie some things together. I like that. She was very clear on what she did and what she was going to do. So I thought that wasn't too bad. Again, the wow factor maybe wasn't there so much. If it's all about brand and image, I would have expected that to be even more wowing to draw me in a little more. I thought the humor was unique, and it was all right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Here's why I don't like it. The first is if it's just audio, you don't have, like, you can lie. Like, I sold radio for a long time. You are not, you're not judged by what you can see. You're just judged by the story that you're telling. So I'm going to give the credibility a low mark because I don't know if I believe it. Now, the other piece is the clarity in the communication was very strong. And I thought the enthusiasm was good. So I'm sitting here going, I'd like to see Tanis face-to-face, deliver it in front of a crowd. The whole thing was an elevator pitch. You're not going to play an audio track in an elevator to a prospect. So I don't even think it hits the mark. I think we should have disqualified it. That's just my opinion on it. So my marks will relate to that. I'd like to see Tanis face-to-face, the same thing that our other competitors had to do, so that we could see what she delivers face-to-face, because I think the message was pretty good, but I think there's an unfair advantage of being able to send an audio thing and not be accountable for the other pieces to it.
Excellent. All right, well, give it up for Tana. She can't hear you. So, next one, Nola Olakiode. Is that right? She's a student. Are you a student at the U of S? At the U of S, and you're going to talk about a new social media platform.
I'm Nola Lakaida, and I would like to share with you my new social media platform called Spilt, Social Problems in Live Time. How many times have you searched on Google for advice and then find an old blog with generic feedback with no real-life example? But with Spilt, your questions are answered through people sending and sharing their personal experience and how they dealt with the same problem. These posts are anonymous, so feel free to spill your confessions and your opinions you'd like to share and problems you want to deal with. During your downtime, you can go through Spilt and be looped in the work, fashion, food, or sport industry, environmental or political issues in various communities or countries, all in one app.
All right, judges.
All right, thank you, Nola, and thank you for being in person to do this. I think that's good. Could have used maybe a little bit more on the credibility part of it. I liked your story though, and have you ever, and walked us through an example, so to speak, of where we might have frustrations when it comes to online. I found the clarity of what you were offering. You backed it up a little bit, but I still found it a little tough to tie exactly what this is going to look like or do for me, so I would have liked a little more exposure there. The enthusiasm, I loved your smile, and I loved that your voice was passionate about it. Again, was it a wow? Maybe not a wow. It didn't draw me in quite as much. But all in all, I thought it was an average pitch. Thank you.
I thought that you brought some credibility out of the gate, and then as we went into the pitch, you started searching a little bit. And that's where I start to lose, the credibility piece. So I think if you kept that same delivery out of the gate, where you were like very confident and you stood up there, and then as you started to look around the crowd and it started to hit you that there's $1,000 on the line and people are looking at you. So again, I come back to the practice is a really important piece. I will give you one little thing that I use, and I think that a lot of public speakers make this error. You stop breathing, by the way. And then you started to get nervous because your body is going, holy shit, I need to breathe. So, just for all of our presenters, breathing is key to this. Breathing as you walk up there, and then breathing while you're presenting. I can tell right at the gate if somebody stopped breathing, because then you start to lose that level of confidence. I thought that the concept is good, and I grabbed the concept right out of the gate. As Jane said, you presented this thing that I think everybody has dealt with. So I was excited to see what the solution might be. The repetition is missing. So I think that you want to say what your thing is, and then you want to put some planned repetition into the elevator pitch so that I leave with at least one thing. So the food truck wars thing, I know it's food truck wars. There was enough repetition in there, but we've had a number of presentations now. I'm already searching to what the other presentations were. So try and layer in some repetition, but I look forward to seeing the next rendition of this now that you've got some constructive feedback.
Excellent. All right, next presenter. So Joel McCulloch, and then this is a video presentation. So and Joel's going to be talking about the opportunities and importance of text messaging effectively.
It's been a dream of mine for a while to have a career making music. Over the past couple months, I've reached out to about 60 artists across the world over direct messages on social media. My approach It's been a dream of mine for a while to have a career making music. Over the past couple months, I've reached out to about 60 artists across the world over direct messages on social media. My approach has changed quite a bit from the first artist I reached out to the 60th, both in terms of my networking and sales approach and in just how I text. A problem I ran into initially was creating rapport and gaining trust without any face-to-face communication, and I still run into this problem. And right now we have the power in the palm of our hands to reach out to anyone everywhere. People want to work with people they like and trust. And if you're able to convey this in the way you message, you have a lot of power, and this gives you a lot of opportunity. Right now I'm currently working with an artist who lives in New Zealand that is really talented, and I never thought I'd be working with, and it wouldn't have been possible 10 or 15 years ago.
All right, judges, I think I got a feeling what you're going to say here.
All right. I would say, again, with video, it would be a little easier to have some retakes and do some wow factor. I didn't quite get the credibility because I wasn't too sure who are you, what is this, and who are you. The pitch I didn't quite understand. Yes, it's important to do that. I get the why, but what are you actually pitching? What's in it for us? And there was no enthusiasm, so no wow factor. I mean, you need that at least to get your message across and have us listen more intently. So I thought it was a little on the dull side. George?
You're so polite. I have no clue what that was. I don't know what the pitch was about. I don't know what the value proposition was. And to Jane's point, it was monotone. So, Joel, a lot of work that needs to be done there.
That are putting themselves out there, going in front of some pretty tough judges. All right, let's move on to our next presenter. So Tara C., founder of Grow Personal Development Services, and the pitch is going to be on helping retired athletes successfully navigate life transitions with holistic coaching. So that's a big market.
Are you a retired athlete? Since you've retired, have you felt disconnected, stressed, exhausted, and unfulfilled? Do you want to reconnect to the qualities that made you a great athlete? I help retired athletes navigate life transitions, and I do this by helping them to have accountability, to rediscover their life's mission, and to connect their mind and body to develop better self-awareness, and to create a lifestyle so that they can achieve their life's pursuits. My model stems from a combination of self-awareness tools, spiritual philosophies, and science-based wellness concepts. My name is Tara C. I'm an exercise physiologist, strength coach, yoga teacher, and holistic coach. I have a master's in business administration and a bachelor of science in kinesiology. If you're ready to align your mind and body to be your best and most productive self, you can contact me online at growyxe.com. I look forward to working with you to navigate your life.
Well, Tara, let me tell you, that is one of the best elevator pitches of the day, so congratulations. A very a very clearly identified problem that you're trying to solve. You then had that repetition that I was speaking about as to the space that you're in. So I got that. And then I was waiting for you, and you dropped it at the end, why I should give a shit about you, and it was right there. MBA, kinesiology, like all that stuff was awesome. Great job.
I echo that as well, and I like that you shared that at the end, because that was a real powerful wrap-up, and I love the questions at the beginning, because it really ties you in. Even though I'm not an athlete like that, it would make me feel like, yeah, I am, and yeah, I want that, and so I think you did a great job of tying the need in there, and even the benefit. Maybe we could have worked even slightly more on what they're going to get in the end, and draw that end conclusion a little stronger, but I thought overall very well done. One opportunity I think would be the enthusiasm. You look like you were trying to memorize a few things, and there was a lot in there, so I give you a break there. However, I think a little more enthusiasm and engaging the crowd a little more would have helped even more in your pitch. So well done.
All right, next up, we have Mr. Lee Clark. So he's a dealer sales specialist at S Media. His pitch is going to be the product of grow personal development services, of growing personal development services, I believe.
So I did, really quickly, I did a video presentation, and hearing George speak, happy I'm here. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. All right, who here woke up this morning hoping someone would sell them a car? No hands. Okay. So the fact of the matter is, people shop online for vehicles. In fact, 87% of people hate something about going to a dealership. So what marketers have tried to do is they've done Facebook ads, they've done Google ads, but the problem is people shop cars, not dealerships. So what we've done at S Media is we've created some artificial intelligence that will track very specific behaviors that will show how likely someone is to buy a car. So that's how we at S Media can be your digital sales consultant to help you sell more cars.
All right, judges.
I liked your introduction. It was very enthusiastic and positive. I also liked how you moved around a little bit more and engaged the crowd. I loved your question off the start. It really got everyone thinking, and a little giggle always helps engage as well. And you were very clear about what the frustration was, what the problem was, and what your solution will do. I think there was opportunity to expand that maybe a little more. Again, what's that benefit? What will that help us do? So we heard what it was, but if you could take that just a little bit further. And maybe on the credibility part, adding in a little more about, well, why should I believe you then? That's the case. So it sounded good, but I would add a little bit more on the credibility and a little bit more on that, tying that benefit, driving that home. No pun intended on the driving that home.
This is deja vu all over again. I think you and I have done this a few times. I love the data where you talked about the challenge that consumers have, and that it added that credibility, as Jane said. There was a lot of clarity there. Obviously, you practiced it. There was enthusiasm out of the gate. I think that because you and I know each other, I think that one of the items, you had 16 seconds left to really drive home that you're likable. And I haven't brought this up yet as feedback, so for all of the other people, it's an elevator pitch. You're on the elevator with the prospect. You got to be likable. And the fact that you moved around a little bit made you human, and that's part of being likable. So I think that you've got 16 seconds left in the time allotted to drive that home a little bit more, because what we're trying to do in an elevator pitch is we're trying to set the hook. We're not trying to close the deal. We're just trying to get people to move to that next step where we're going to have that next conversation. So all in all, good on the credibility, good on the clarity and communication. Enthusiasm was there. You've got an opportunity to nail the wow factor. You had 16 seconds left, so as you get ready for Friday, think about that.
Thanks, Lee. All right, next up is Kevin Kermack. He's a substitute teacher, and he's going to be talking about the Adventure Academy. And he is a video entry.
Hello, hello, and hello. My name is Kevin Kermack, and I am a teacher by trade, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. No, I'm going to be talking about my side project, Adventure Academy, that I've been running for the last year and a half. Now, in the last year and a half, we've had a lot of growth. It started off as this thing I did for fun to now I can make money off of, which is always fun, let's face that. Now, this combines the experience of murder mysteries and escape rooms. Now, both these have become extremely popular, especially when you look at the rise of other social games like D&D, escape rooms themselves, and multitudes of other things. People want that experience. They want to be able to come together as friends and have fun. Board games are on the rise, so by investing in me and Adventure Academy, not only are you investing in fun, you're always investing in having a good time. Thank you very much for listening.
Wow, got some personality there. All right, judges.
All right, I'll start. So, Kevin, you had a lot of credibility. Obviously, you play a lot of games, and that came through in your delivery, and you looked to be an expert in the space. I thought that your message was quite clear, and your communication skills were good. Enthusiasm was good. The fact that you sent in a video, I'm going to give you lower marks on the wow factor. I wouldn't mind seeing what that pitch looks like face to face.
I thought it was quite clear. I liked the enthusiasm off the start. And I think he spoke well. And again, I agree with George. It's video, so it's a little easier to go try that, do it again and again until you get it the way you like it. So I would like to see that in person and see if that translates just as well. The idea again could have been expanded on a little bit more. We got the idea that it's fun and it's adventure and so on. But I think even talking a little bit more about what it is that he's pitching, I could have used a little more of that.
Excellent. Well, give it up for Kevin. Next up out of the gate is Colton Wiegers, Business Development Manager for Wiegers Financial and Benefits, and he's going to talk about Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Saskatoon.
Thank you. Hello? I'm good to go.
3, 2, 1.
Do you think it's important to give back to your community? Do you think that every kid should have a mentor in their life? If you've answered yes to both these questions, you need to get involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters Saskatoon. It's a program aimed at developing mentoring relationships between adults and youth in our city. I've been at Big Brother for 7 years now. A minute is not nearly enough time to tell you the impact that you can have on a kid's life today. You become a constant for them, someone who's there when they're going through tough times and change. You truly become someone who changes their life as they're growing up. It can be tough to commit to being a one-on-one mentor, though. There's lots of ways to get involved. Group activities, in-school programs, and fundraising are all ways that you can give a bit of your time, which means so much to these kids, and see if the program's a good fit for you. Right now, there are 250 kids waiting to be matched with a mentor. For girls, they typically wait 6 to 12 months, and boys, 2 to 3 years. Every one of you can make a difference in this room. If you want to help out and change some lives, come find me after.
All right, judges.
Thanks, Colton. Very, very well done. I thought it was you could see your passion and your compassion in that. So I like that. I like the questions off the front that really drew us in. I thought it was very compelling. It was very clear. You threw in some data points in there as well, like about the numbers and so on. Maybe would have liked to hear an opportunity for a quick story or an example of what it has done for some kids thus far, like would even draw us in a little more. But overall, I thought it was very clear, concise, no notes. You went through it very smoothly. I would say the enthusiasm there was passion in there, maybe opportunity for a little more enthusiasm as well, where I just want to follow you out the door and go do this with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So opportunity there to up the wow factor just a little bit more, but good detail. Thank you.
Colton, how you doing, bud?
Doing good.
The questions off the top, I don't know if you would ask those questions on an elevator. So I'd like you to rethink that opener. I do like what you're trying to do there, but I don't know if you would just interrogate somebody that you just met on the elevator and say, like, do you contribute to society, or you just drain it? The other thing, to Jane's point, you missed the opportunity to use yourself as an example, because I know that you're super passionate about this cause, and I'd love to see that come out, because I think you could use your example. Here's what I loved. You challenged us as an audience, because you said, basically, there's all these poor kids because we're not prepared to invest our time, that are waiting years to have a big brother or a big sister. So I think that you could really nail that piece. You made me feel bad. I want to sign up, and want to help out. So that was good, but really accentuate that piece, and then work on those 2 opening questions. And I think you got a winner there. It was a good first cut at it.
Thank you, Colin. All right, so that is it for our first round. So reminder, great, yeah, give it up. It's tough to stand up here in front of this audience, and it's even tougher in front of 2 judges like that as well too. But amazing job by everybody. And on Friday, you're gonna have the chance we're gonna see who's gonna walk away with that $1,000 grand prize. There is a $500 second prize, but it's also that trophy. It's the bragging rights for 1 whole year on your LinkedIn page, Instagram, wherever you want to put it. And we're encouraging you to get here promptly as soon as you can. 4 p.m. is when Ideas on Tap starts. We're going to seal these envelopes. We're not going to open them until Friday, so we'll find out. Our contestants will sweat a little bit here as we go through the next 2 days, and we'll find out who is going to be pitching live on Friday to our Ideas on Tap audience. So excellent. Everybody, thank you again. And what did you guys think of the contest? It was good?
If you have it scored. Oh, I